at the Ursuline Centre in Great Falls, Montana, and we're with Tom Trunkle. You are the director of the whole place here. So we're going to go on a tour with Tom and check out this amazing building that was built in 1911.
Yes.
So we're just going to head this way and follow Tom along the dusty road.
Come on along. So here he's got this chime. Wow. And before intercoms and before phone systems, each sister had a melody that would be kind of our call signal to come down to have a visitor or something. So they would take a mallet, and doesn't quite sound like it used to because the mallet's like quite different, but it'd be something like something.
So each one had a different tone.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So
you knew which nun was coming towards you.
Very Von Trapp.
Yeah.
Very Von Trapp.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the original?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So when the building was built, the bishop had asked the sisters who were in Montana, they were previously at the St. Peter's Mission near Cascade, to establish a school here in Great Falls. And so they came and looked at different sites and chose this one, which is at the time was called Boston Heights. And there was nothing out here at the time, just prairie. And so they broke ground in 1911. In less than a year, the building was finished. So it was ready for school the fall.
Took a year to build this thing?
Yes. Yeah, 65,000 square feet.
We'll show you some pictures of the outside of the building. This is not a small building whatsoever.
No, and we have this fantastic heritage gallery, this photo gallery here, which really chronicles from day one, even when the building was being built.
Oh, wow. They're all dressed up like British royalty or something.
Obviously, we have an auditorium. We'll take a look at that. So there's a lot of theater, a lot of plays. Mother Rayfield did a lot of the costumes. She sewed the costumes. She did set design. When we go up to our gallery, you'll see the scope of her work. But yeah, just some amazing, the original rendering, the architectural rendering from George Shanley, who is just a renowned architect in this area and throughout the Northwest. So just a fantastic image of the building.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool.
So we have a heritage museum, which houses this kind of historical pieces and a native collection of art pieces loaned to us from the Ursuline Order.
Oh, this is cool.
And so this room started off as the dorm room for the high school girls. And so if they didn't have an individual bedroom, they could have a bed in here, and there might have been 4 to a side and separated by the linen dividers. The room next door would have been the dorm room for the grade school girls that were boarding students here. And so later on in its years, it became a ballet studio and then eventually became a museum to house just an incredible collection of this beaded native artwork, antiquities, and a collection of artifacts from the mission in Alaska as well. And so the Ursulines established 8 other missions in Montana, and this here in Great Falls became the mother house for the order. And
were there the Ursuline Centre? I was doing some research, but was this establishment somewhere else before this building was here? Like
yes,
like in Sunburst or?
Oh, it was out here at St. Peter's
there
Mission.
we go. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So this is a remarkable painting by Ralph DeCamp, and so. Ralph has an incredible talent unto himself. He and his wife would spend summers out here at St. Peter's Mission, and this would be a fantastic place to visit as well.
Yeah, is that still out there?
Yes. So
where is it again?
So you would go to Cascade and then hang a right on I think it's the Cascade to Fort Shaw Military Road.
Oh, wow.
And then you're gonna when you come to a divide in the road, you're gonna hang a left. There's signs along the road which kind of guide you along the way.
But both those buildings are still just sitting
No, so what's left of these buildings, this would have been the Jesuit house and school, and this would have been the Ursuline Academy.
Okay.
And then in the background, they even had an opera house, which is still still there and standing.
Is that on private land now?
It is private land. The chapel, which is depicted here on the right, and a little model thereof, is still standing. And it's pretty close to the road where if you pull off, they've installed some new historical placards out there that talk about historical figures that were a part of this mission site, including Louis Riel, Mary Fields, Mother Amadeus Dunn. So it was really kind of this cultural epicenter in the middle of nowhere. It's called Burtail Rock, is kind of the name of the site. And so as they farmed, they had fresh water. Here's a fantastic photo image of the buildings. So over time, many of the buildings burnt. The last fire, which kind of was the end result, was I think in 1918. But over time, so what's left of the two schools is parts of the walls or corner parts of the wall. And you see that when you go out there.
Okay. So it's kind of just like dilapidated.
Yes, you can see the archways of the windows. This was the material that it was made from, this limestone, which was milled out there. But beautiful area, though, just gorgeous. There's a cemetery out there as well.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to go check that
that was their mother house before
Yep.
they came to Great Falls.
Okay.
So they came at the request of the bishop, said, would you be interested? And so they established a school, and it's been everything from a K through 12. It was the home of the University of Providence, or at the time College of Great Falls, for many years. And now we operate an Ursuline preschool.
There's so much to see. Oh, yeah.
This one here, it's a Bausch and Lomb. When they moved to this building, it was the first building they had that was electrified, right? So, because before, they had no indoor heat, no indoor really central heat, no electricity, no indoor plumbing, etc. So when they had this building, they purchased this Bausch and Lomb projector. It could project horizontally and vertically. Wow. Still works.
Of course it does.
Predecessor was the version out at the mission sites, which was lit by a candle. So that's a candle box on the back.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
An old Kodak box. And this is
Old microscope. Yeah, this is an amazing collection.
So we have this setup of what their bedrooms may have looked like back in the day, but it's hilarious because the rooms actually still look like this. We still have the same brass beds, the same oak furniture. It's quite remarkable, but it kind of gives you the sense. There's a great picture in the background there on the mirror showing the room set up back in the day. But
tight quarters. It's like bed.
Right. Oh, certainly, yes.
Yeah, that would have been, in 1920, yeah. It was like 1984.
Great set of carpentry tools that were found in the basement.
Oh, wow.
Decades later.
Is that like dumbbell type workout stuff, or is that?
I'm not sure what that is unless it describes it on one of these. I don't see it depicted though.
Wow. Yeah, this is really neat stuff. Holy smokes.
So when the other mission sites closed, a lot of their furnishings came here, so that's why we have a large collection of furnishing items. And then the collection in the middle is our gifts that were given to sisters or were educational items, the tactile items like the cradle boards in this case. These would have been items that were made by children.
Those are so cool.
There's dolls that were fashioned by families and children.
They're in really good condition. Like everything's in such good
Yeah, so we're going to
condition.
cycle this out. And I think there's going to be some discussion really about that repatriation of some of these items to their respective tribes. And that's something that's a dialogue. This is a collection, again, that's on loan to us from the Ursuline Order. And so we feel quite honored to be able to host, it's collection here. So
that's a good thing to get them back to who they belong to, obviously.
Right, absolutely.
But it's amazing. I'm just astounded. Like you hardly see them in this good a condition.
A lot of these things over decades were stored in these steamer trunks because these were items or gifts that were given to the sisters, and then humbly they would just put the item away or wrap it up and put it in storage. So after their passing, many of these items in these trunks were opened up, and it was quite a treasure trove of spectacular gifts and items, and fantastic. And so,
Tom, how do people come and visit this? What are your hours for this museum?
so we're available by appointment right now. So you can call us at 452-8585, and we'll arrange a docent to lead you on a tour. Takes about an hour, and it's free. Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
So the sisters, Charlie, there's the 6 original nuns that came out here from Toledo, Ohio. And so the story starts with them. They arrive in Miles City. Wow. It's, minus 32 degrees. And they quickly establish in Miles City a school and a convent, and then also go to the Northern Cheyenne Reservation and establish a school there. And then over the course of the next 10 years has established 8 mission or school sites. So,
this is a colorized photo.
So it's, yes.
I just realized, I was like, is this Huffman, a painting or?
It's kind of hand tinted.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that style, that old school.
So the building behind them would have been their church, their school, and where they lived. So certainly a tough go.
Where is Tongue River?
Tongue River. That's on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. St. Bray, yes. First, in the sense of she would not take no for an answer. And so if she felt, especially just in service to others, her mission work, she was adamant to find any available resources to reach those missions, those goals. And so she lived her entire life in Montana. Is buried out in St. Ignatius, western Montana. So her life is quite remarkable. The courage. She lived much of her life out at St. Peter's Mission here as well. So,
is she also in this one as well?
She is not in this picture, but these 6 nuns also spent their entire lives in Montana from the get-go, and they had no prior training, no experience. I mean, they came out here on train wagons and horses, and so it was really quite remarkable. And future sisters that came out to Montana, some of them didn't quite make her, didn't want to stay, gotcha. And maybe went back to.
Yeah, I'm sure that there was a bit of a turnover.
Yes,
Montana has that.
Absolutely, in that day and age. So.
Wow, just everything is, and it's got that old smell too. That I don't know what that is. It's not a bad smell. It's just that old, musty goodness.
Yeah, right.
Wow, this is cool.
So they later admitted boys, I think in the 30s, and then. So you'll see the integration of sports and athletics here after they built the gym out back, and so.
Geo Shanley, that's interesting. So my dad's name is George Shanley Willett.
Really?
Which I wonder
if he's named after him.
Because his mom went here, so I do wonder that actually now. I never heard that name before either, Shanley.
Huh.
I always wondered where it came from because it's, I don't know.
That's interesting. A lot of these guys, these bricklayers and stonesmiths, are from Croatia. And so a group of them from the Lewistown area worked on this building. So it's a timber beam frame construction with a brick veneer, and all the materials were collected locally.
And it's got like a Gothic style to it.
Yes,
like
it's called a revival collegiate Gothic style. So the parapet roof line, where you have it kind of with jigsaw across the top, and the ornate scroll work, we'll see that replicated up in the chapel.
Cool.
And on what I find fascinating, just the details, and the fact that they built this in the year, the details in the door plate handles here. Wow. So you'll see it in the Gothic, style tops of windows.
Oh my gosh.
And you'll see that in the chapel along with the pews and the windows. So it's just amazing that he was able to really dial in the details
Yeah, that's amazing.
going forward.
Yeah, and one thing you just notice is just room after room after room here. It's just like all these different themes. Like we've been going through all these different rooms.
Absolutely.
There's a harp.
It
Don't let
doesn't
Ellie
have
see
all
it.
its strings, so it's in process. Are you a harp player?
She's just always.
Oh my gosh.
It's our goal.
Oh my gosh. So this is the green parlor, and this was a room that was a classroom. It was a recital room. It was a room where they held high tea. When a sister would pass away, her casket was placed on this side of the room, and so you could see the wear pattern in this carpet in which the children would come down, the grade school children would come down to pay their last respects to a sister had passed away. And so there's a wear pattern in which they would go around the casket and go in one door and out the other.
Well, that's quite the Bible there.
Oh, yeah.
Holy moly. That's probably got some interesting things in it. Yeah, this is just, I mean, it's a treasure trove here. It's just everywhere you turn, these paintings are huge. They're all of them. There's no small paintings at all. I mean, there are, but
Right,
they're
and
just
many of them are
take
by
up.
Mother Raphael, and some of them are just prints, religious prints, but we'll see a lot of her work as we move through the building for sure.
And then I was just like, every room we've gone into, there's another door. There's another door. There's
So
another door.
some closets, and that door I think will go out to the grand entryway, and then we'll poke across to the auditorium, and actually we'll just go out this door maybe. And the University of Providence started in this room.
We're at
So again, with the emphasis in music and arts, this again blows my mind that they have practice rooms that they built and integrated in the auditorium.
Wow, yeah, one.
So we have a couple that are on display, as they might have been. Some have pianos and musical instruments, and
Are they soundproof?
they're pretty effective.
Pretty soundproof?
for the air.
That's
I'm always
amazing. How many?
impressed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 of them.
Yes.
Holy smokes, that's amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Imagine just like having to get or getting to go to a school like this. Like
Oh, completely.
Going to a public
State of the
school.
art. I mean, from what they were coming from, really
That's
from
amazing.
the wilderness to set up shop here in Great Falls.
I'm sure this like blew people's minds at the time.
Completely. It
I mean, it's blowing my mind because I look at this as like the school system we have now, and it's just like, what happened?
Right.
We got 12 practice rooms right here in this auditorium. You don't see that anywhere.
So it gets a lot of use. Our outside groups include like the Great Falls Theater Company.
Oh, cool.
The group of individuals that provide music lessons, recitals. Our preschool uses it for their spring and their Christmas programs. It's a wonderful stage. It's a dual tiered stage. It's got a trap door back in the middle there, so you can spring forward. It's really quite amazing. And the acoustics here, you can tell I'm just hardly speaking, and it's just
Yeah, this is great.
quite echoey.
Yeah, this is amazing. And then these, I love the musicians on the wall. all
Right, the
different
great
musicians.
conductors and composers of Bach and Hans. Yeah, it's wonderful. And those
all
are
the big
period.
names.
And then the fixtures, all of them are also correct. They're also, many of them are the original globes and light fixtures. Obviously, the internal, the electricity, the new roof, the new windows have all been replaced. And so the fact that to be able to maintain that is super important for us.
So is that late 90s when that happened? Early 90s? The electricity and stuff?
So a lot of that happened early 2000s up
yeah.
through 2012 with
Gotcha.
some masonry work, some repointing, concrete work out front. And that's always ongoing, as far as that type of work. So we celebrate 115 years next year. And to me, that just blows my mind. I always think of those 6 women in that museum. And, I would like to ask them, do you think that this building would still be here 115 years later? And it's used so wonderfully by outside groups and the programming that we do and our students. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is amazing. All the woodworking too. I love work.
Oh, it's
woodworking.
completely. So George
perfect.
Shanley, when he was a college student, he studied in England.
Oh,
And so the story goes that he would often spend his weekends ducking into these Anglican hillside chapels, these ancient chapels
Right.
and churches, and do field sketches. And from those field sketches was the inspiration for kind of the look and the feel. And you certainly get that when we go into the chapel upstairs. It's like, wow.
Yeah, this is great. Huh.
Yeah, so it's some fantastic artwork up there as well. It has a balcony. It's in fantastic shape. We'll go up in this front foyer area. I'll show you just the entry, and then we'll make our way upstairs. Which you rarely see.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's just an incredible design for that era, for sure.
Oh, well, you know, it's a Catholic school. Like nothing, everything's in such good condition. Like, you know, like I always think like the kids I went to school with. I mean, half of the stuff would be broken, you know, but everything was like nice and orderly. And
sure,
something like this would have.
Not survived.
I think kids hanging on it.
Right.
That wouldn't have happened though.
No. No, it's a beautiful entryway though, for sure.
All this in here is really interesting. It's the coloring and stuff. Is that plaster? I think it's all plaster.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just am always, you know, always in awe. Just because now design and building techniques is not near as good as this.
No, not
right?
even close. How long have you been doing?
I've been here 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, and my kids had gone to school here as little kiddos. Aunt and uncles had gone to school here as older students back in the 30s and 40s. So this was painted by Mother Raphael, all three of these scenes. And this one in particular is really of interest because of the style she painted it. Mother Raphael was a prodigy when it came to art. She was offered an art scholarship when she was living in Bavaria, Germany, to the Dusseldorf Art Academy. Came to the United States, attended the University of Notre Dame, got her MFA, became an Ursuline sister, joined the Ursuline Order here in Great Falls, and became a longtime educator. She taught here for over 50 years until her passing in about 73. So these paintings, these murals in particular, this one just really highlights and showcases her knowledge.
Yeah.
The style that here, if you're looking straight on, you'll see she utilized a technique from the Renaissance called le trompe-l'œil, which means to fool the eye. And so what happens if you're directly in front of it, you see the Christ, his eyes are directly looking at you, the arms of the throne come out, the toes. Everything is just kind of evenly balanced. But as you move either to your right or your left, you'll notice that the eyes will follow you and one arm will shorten up on the throne and the other one will lengthen out. So it's a fantastic representation of that knowledge base she had for a painting like this.
Yeah,
so
even the chair kind of does
everything does a little shift, yeah. And it's just amazing. A weird perspective trick that she knew.
We should get a shot of it just moving across. Too is like the proportions. When you start painting that large, like it gets easier to like do that eye trick, and that's cool because like now he looks like he's facing me. Like,
right.
The heck.
And one of the students, we was at a tour yesterday. She was a student here in the '60s, so she said that the sisters would say, remember, Christ is always looking out for you. And then some of the other sisters would say, watch out, Christ is really looking at you, don't misbehave, that sort of thing. And so...
you go down here. Yeah.
Definitely.
It works any which way. Because, I mean, that foreshortening of the arms is what's getting me. That particular arm over there really just moves
completely, right?
Just moves back and forth wherever I look.
And the lighting isn't quite great right now, but usually when it's a little bit brighter in this area, you can really see that happening. So wonderful. So she painted the murals upstairs, and then I'll point out any paintings that we see along the way by Mother Raphael. I'll show you a beautiful room in a library. This is called the Bishop's Parlor, and it was originally titled the Mother's Room or the Mother Superior's Room. But later, at some point, it became the Bishop's Parlor. And it was a room. There's a little apartment in the back, but it had this own little private library. it's one of the few rooms that has its own private bathroom. There's only like 3 or 4 rooms in the house that have private bathrooms, but an incredible collection of books that go way, way back. Collection of just kind of the classics and religious theory, law books. Incredible examples of alabaster lamps from the Art Deco period in the 20s and 30s. And so
I see the history of Ireland. That's crazy.
What is your oldest book?
I'm not quite sure. It's quite a lengthy list because we have another library that has a similar collection of books as well. And so a bishop would stay here. This was before they had an office, and then he had his own entryway out that side door. Had really quite a nice setup for him when the sisters were pretty living.
My dad has
Honestly.
a copy of this. I know, I've seen this before.
Oh, sure.
That particular, when the Pope visited Great Falls. You know, that was that in 1983? Is that what that says?
Was that when it was? Because he was friends with Monsignor Glusick,
Yep.
I think.
Over
And
at Blessed
he was a
Trinity.
skier. He skied somewhere in Montana, maybe
It
Showdown.
might have been, actually. Well, I was born in 83, and I'm
Oh, no kidding.
pretty sure that was, I mean, I've seen this for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And my dad would definitely get a hold of one of those if he could.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
So quite a setup for them as far as, a bishop being able, now anybody can stay in this room, and that the adjoining room next door, like I said, has its own private bathroom and bedroom. It's nice. It's usually retreat directors will book the room.
and this is the bathroom over here,
Well, it's the bedroom.
the bedroom.
Bedroom and bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's something.
Pink.
Pink. Yeah, right.
I always wondered, my dad always had a fascination with pink. I just keep wondering if all this is like somehow tied. Oh, that famous old painting. I can't remember the name of that painting there. Straight ahead with the sheep. But Grandma had that in her house, actually. Is there some lights in there I could get for you? Maybe. Oh. Very, very nice pink. Calming pink, I think they call that. You feel calm? We're back kind of at the beginning here.
Right here, and we'll just take the stairs up to
Okay.
the chapel.
So is that the first floor?
That's the second floor,
Second floor.
technically, and then so most of our preschool, pre-kindergarten classrooms are on this third floor. So, and then as well as on the first. But we have some private rooms on the east end here. We have some staff from the University of Providence that stay with us, and then on the west side we have the bedrooms, and we'll take a look at those as well. But those would be the bedrooms that the boarding students stayed in.
Gotcha.
So they're really quite remarkable. But let's go take a look at the chapel here.
Chapel time.
So again, that scroll work, that design,
Yeah.
you have it here and the top of the windows here. And the stained glass is notable because of the style, being a prairie style stained glass with the long-stemmed iris flowers, which was quite popular. But they have as well been refurbished by stained glass artists locally, but exquisite. So in the morning when the sun comes up, and you can tell right now, the room just glows, a
Yeah.
soft yellow glow, really quite breathtaking. And so there's a choir loft above us. And we they do a Catholic Mass here on Sundays at 10 o'clock, and feast days and holy days of obligation as well. They can do weddings here if they're not a part of an official parish. But yeah, it's really quite a chapel, and not many chapels are on the third floor of any particular
Yeah,
building,
yeah,
right? And so
yeah.
it's quite a design.
You get these vaulted ceilings are
Right,
just incredible.
it's very that English feel to me, anyways, in the sense that I think he was definitely inspired by that look and that feel in England. But
Yeah, I loved how you know, have you ever been to the Bear Museum?
I don't think I have. No.
That's a really fascinating place because the Bear sisters.
Oh, the Alberta, yes.
Alberta Bear, yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay.
And yeah, they just
That's incredible.
brought
Yeah,
culture
that's
to Montana in like such an interesting way, just like this. It's so cool because I mean, especially in the early 1900s, it was just, I mean, I can't imagine a lot of people just minds completely blown
right
by some of this stuff.
Yeah, what a character, gosh. The murals on the wall, so these are kind of, I consider kind of the crown jewels of Mother Raphael's work, but the story on the left is the story of Saint Ursula, the namesake of the order, and then the story on the right is the story of Saint Angela Merici welcoming new women to the order. But of note, on the mural, on the painting on the left, the young handmaidens that are in the foreground were her students at the time, so they posed for her. So she could get those sketched in. And she had these stretched on a canvas upstairs in the studio, and the studio's not that big. And so the size of these, they were stretched diagonally in the room, and she had done these in about 1926, building again. So the murals, the wall, everything was a little bit different when the building was initially built, but they later painted those on canvas and then applied them to the wall.
And these are all donated. These are just donators.
Yeah, they must have done a fundraiser at some point, and then get your name on a plaque if you donate so much.
Well, I heard that there was like the renovation of this place in the early 2000s. They raised a few $1 million to get all this stuff.
Yeah, and we're doing that again. We started that process just because, like I say, the repointing about every 25 years, masonry pointing work needs to be addressed. We just installed a new boiler last summer. It's just constant stewardship, which is fantastic because we're able to identify grants that could really supplement that, as well as donors and fundraising that we do. So it certainly is a labor of love because of what the building means to so many people. That Christ figure is made out of alabaster, a rose alabaster, and so
holy smokes!
Yeah, it's incredible. If the sun hits that, that thing just glows.
Oh, I bet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that is amazing.
If you want to walk up closer and get a closer shot of those, like their faces or anything like that, yeah, it's absolutely worth looking closer at. And then behind the chapel, there's a priest's apartment. So the apartment, and that's fully, has a little bedroom and living room. And then above that, there's another apartment called the Crow's Nest, and that's where the caretaker would live. And it's just a tiny little studio apartment and has a little greenhouse off it. It's really quite...
Do you go through these doors to
get
there?
You go up these side steps. My kids call this Downton Abbey because of, this feel and the and also Harry Potter. They compare it to Harry Potter.
It certainly seems like a movie set.
Right?
It does. Especially this room. I mean, this is... You don't see this very often.
I agree. And really when they did a lot of that work in the 90s and early 2000s, that they were committed to it. Like, hey, we're going to replace all the windows. We've got to replace this leaky roof. We've got to get a new boiler. I'm glad they did that because, it would be so easy to say, let's take a wrecking ball to it.
Yeah.
And that happened to St. Thomas. It's just, it had fallen into hard, dilapidated state. And much like in the 70s, there was a malaise, there was disrepair. And so it was about that timing. And so fortunately, they came up with like an idea like, well, what are we going to do? We have no 8th grade class anymore. Let's do a retreat and conference center. And that's what they started to do. And that helped keep the doors open. And a lot of fantastic people.
Well, it's such a good resource for Great Falls, even today.
It's very much like a community center. I have to share that with you in the sense that it's a community center where you can stay and live in a living museum, a historic museum. Yeah, it's much like some of the government lodges in Glacier Park. A beautiful character and history that, even though it's old, you just love staying there. So. Yeah,
this is definitely one of a kind. Amazing. I can't get over these vaulted ceilings though. That's my favorite part of it. It's just unbelievable work on that wood. Amazing. My eyes have finally adjusted. When I first came, I did not expect the bright.
Oh, sure.
That color. It's not even necessarily bright. It's just, it's
Yeah,
vivid.
definitely in the morning. Gosh, it really glows here. And there's some people that come and pray in here and just, sit and meditate. But it's just very powerful for sure.
Yeah.
The glow of it. And
Get some
so,
sunset light coming through and mixing
yeah,
that color up.
absolutely. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful room. I'll show you real quickly some of what the overnight rooms are like. Housekeeping. Hi, Connie. How are you?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, like I said, we're still using the existing furniture.
Oh, wow.
The same sinks that are original.
Sinks.
So the bathrooms are shared down the hall. There's men's and women's showers, cubicles. We still utilize the same heating system here, a boiler heat in the building.
Good view.
So there's
Nice
rooms
view.
that have 2 beds and rooms that are a little bit larger, maybe a little bit smaller. So we just
So how often are people staying here?
we just had to reach this. That's why they're just flipping
cleaning,
rooms
yeah.
right now. But a spiritual retreat this past weekend. It was about 3 days. And then we have one that they're getting ready for that starts tomorrow, actually. So,
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
pretty
Oh,
steady
we
then.
caught you at a really good time.
What's that?
We caught you at a good
In
time.
between the turnovers.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
No, and I mean the groups here when they start. Usually it's on the weekend, but more and more they're going Monday through Thursday now as well. So
Gotcha.
there's quilting retreats. There's writing workshops and spiritual, all kinds of secular and government meetings here as well. So yeah, like I said, we're still using the same old brass.
How many rooms do you have?
How many rooms, Connie?
24.
24 on this floor and 24 roughly on floor. Yeah, thank you. The old intercom box from the 50s. Yeah, and that's something you would have, you'd use this to call down to the office.
Doesn't work anymore?
It does not, but there's a few of these around in the building.
Now, was something like that installed later, you think?
Yeah, that would have been probably from the 50s and 60s, I believe.
Say if they were having intercom boxes in the 1900s, they were way
Yeah,
ahead of the curve.
exactly right. Oh my gosh.
Is it just me or the hallways getting wider every? They seem like they're getting bigger
Yeah, and
as we
it's
go
odd
up.
that we have to come up to the floor, take 3 more steps, and then come down. That's a weird, and I think maybe it was to match up maybe with the choir loft here. I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
but
here's the top.
yeah, that you can take a peek in here while I unlock the other door, but it gives you kind of a bird's eye
Can I
view.
look at that key?
Yeah,
That is so cool.
so
That's an original.
we use these all the time.
Gosh.
Skeleton key.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
There's the Tom. Now it's time.
Hit those, for me, get the, yeah. I'm just like fascinated with like how they put that together. Like, that's such an accomplishment of woodworking.
Wow, and the organ.
Oh yeah. Look at this. I love this. They pipe around here.
Around the light here. That's great.
There's this cool stuff, just like an old school cassette record player, 8-track player.
So on this floor, we have more classrooms, and then some of the classrooms may be converted into dorm rooms for schools that come to Great Falls. Their students can stay in the dorm rooms here on this floor. So the art studio, this was the classroom, and now it's kind of a museum where we can honor and educate Mother Raphael's work and her legacy.
Look up there. Just give just that shot of those steep stairs.
That's cool. Are we going up there?
Yeah, we're going up.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so This was the classroom, and it was now it's a museum of her work, and so we kind of have it set up as it was as a classroom. So I think you'll enjoy this.
There's another set of stairs.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa. Wow. Oh, wow. And this is where she painted those big ones in the chapel?
Yeah, so they would have been set up diagonally up here, but it was, mainly the art classroom, and you could only come up here with a special privilege to take art. You could only come up here if you were an art student. And so the stools and the easels were set up. We have a little staging area where a model would have sat and posed, much like those pastel drawings on the back wall there. But now we just use this room to hang and showcase her work. She would do paintings of people from the neighborhood and priests and students. She would do biblical scenes, spiritual scenes as well.
Yeah, she was very good, very talented. Yeah.
Salome and the head of John the Baptist, yes. It's funny because the last remaining sister here had told me that although it was quite a popular work, it was never displayed publicly, and it wasn't because of the gruesome head there, but it was because she was showing so much leg.
Oh. You can see her knees.
Yeah, knees and ankles.
Right?
A little shoulder, almost a little too much. Wow, yeah, so everything in here is her work?
Almost. There's some that I see that were from students. Right? A couple of our students went on to have successful art careers, like Gary Olds, and a couple of others that, the works that the pieces, like the one on the left is by an adult student. The one in the next to that on the right with the glow of the Christ around him, that was done by Mother Rayfield as well. So, yeah, she would do set design for plays. Her sewing machine is up here because she sewed a lot of costumes for these plays for the students over the years. So she was one of the beginning sisters here. Just an amazing lady, very passionate about art. All her students that are probably in their 60s and 70s tell me the same thing, is that she was very loving and wanted, if you were open to learning art, she would love to teach it.
That's awesome.
It's wonderful to hear.
Seemed like a busy lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing lots of stuff.
Yeah, she did the church out at Holy Family and Haver and so forth. But we keep the window shades closed just to kind of keep the light to a minimum. But the views are spectacular. As far as there's early writings, as far as their journals, they say, oh, we can see the spray of the Black Eagle Falls from the vantage point of the art room.
Oh, wow.
And so just amazing to me. And, when this was built, it was just all prairie grass around here. So it took a little while for the city to catch up and grow around it.
Yeah, this is...
It looks like Margaret Long.
It does, actually. This is Dad.
Oh, what's his character, Joey? Is it Joey?
Joe, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, you should get some pictures of this. We need to show Kyle this.
Okay.
Oh, man. We have a good friend of ours is a professional artist, and just
nice.
That stuff back there.
Some old stuff back there, yeah.
Might not ever want to open them up. Might get a little...
No.
Catch a whiff of something. I always love, anytime I go to old buildings, like in Nyhart, we have the school there, and I used to go and play in there when I was a kid.
Oh, sure.
You just open up a door, you go into another door, there's another door, and then all of a sudden you're in this weird room that nobody's been in for 20 years. I always see things like little closets and stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where all the mysteries are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Yeah, she's an excellent painter. Like way more vibrant. It's like
right.
The colors
I agree.
Are much more.
The colors are rich, especially like in a painting like that, where the colors are just really, really intense.
Very rich too, like rich, vibrant.
Yes.
Even like this, the colors of like kind of the rainbow halo around there. It's just
absolutely
really pops his eyes out.
You guys okay with going on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the head that's missing there. Kind of a gruesome replacement, that pipe, but
Oh yeah.
jeez. And then this one's missing its jaw. So that's part of the next work, the scope of work is replacing some of that.
I'll have to say that's probably one of the coolest art studios in Great Falls.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, incredible light. If you were to open the shades, yeah, the lighting, the actual lighting is wonderful.
Yeah, I'll fly the drone up too and
Oh, right, wonderful.
do some stuff around.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We get done with this and get a good bird's eye view of this place.
So the Columbus Hospital he designed as well. So it's a
Yeah.
similar style,
Yeah.
a little bit more gothic-y, but
Yeah, I got those like spires.
yes.
Oh wow, there's an interesting gap. Oh, is this the no? Oh, wait.
So we're kind of above. They had previously back in the 20s and 30s, there was decking down here.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why there's an exterior door there.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were covered decks or porches for them to hang their laundry, to dry out their uniforms, their cassocks, I guess. School uses it, the dog club uses it for dog training, homeschool associations for volleyball, that sort of thing. People can rent it out. That was the little greenhouse I was telling you about that's attached to the crow's nest. And there's the obviously the outside of the chapel there.
All right, well, thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Thanks
This
for
was an
coming
amazing,
by.
amazing
You and your
trip.
wife. I appreciate it.
Here and showed us all the cool little things about this. And you know, I really hope that people see this and you know they want to connect with this place. And what's the best way that they can connect?
They can check us out online at ucenter.org or give us a call at 452-8585. We're open Monday through Friday.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was an amazing trip through history, and it's an amazing place here, right in Great Falls. Just beautiful. So really appreciate it.
Thank you both very much for stopping by.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.